guys. Well, we're pretty much picking up right where we left off before. We got the body off the frame. And we got the chassis sitting here with the engines mocked up in it in the garage. And it's pretty late at night. I got out here too late to get a lot done, but I got to get some stuff started or else this project's never going to get done, right? Hot rods never build themselves, so I got to get busy on this. I'm going to make some progress tonight. With any luck, I'll have that sitting on the ground over here, and then perhaps have the back rear suspension unbuttoned anyway, at least, and ready to pull out of there. I can predict a jack stand shortage as I get through this, and yeah, who knows what else. Only way to find out is start digging in, so let's get after it. Alright, well, got the engine transmission pulled out. That took a lot longer than it should have. It was kind of more of a pain than it should have been, but got it pulled out. Now I got to move on to the next thing, which is going to be pulling my rear suspension part so I can get the rear axle out of there. I had these engine mounts here. I just was looking at them, lost my train of thought there, but I had these engine mount biscuits set up on the frame, and I think I had them set up in there wrong. If you know how to use these correctly, give me some comments. It'd be great. Pretty sure there's an order to it. Washer, small bushing. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Got a little bit of time before the engine's going to go back in there, but There's a few other things now that I realize that I got to pull out of here. Got to get that pitman arm off. Maybe I'll just keep the steering box with the front suspension. Yeah, I might just do that and roll that all out as one unit. That'll be easy. I got to make my transmission mount look like something other than a guy just took some scrap metal and welded up a little adapter. And I got to come up with some jack stands. I'm short on jack stands around here. Or maybe I'm just fat on stuff to put on jack stands. Either way, I got to figure that out, and then we'll go from there. But I got about 10 minutes before I'm wrapping it up and calling it a night. So I'm going to shut it down for the night. We'll see how far I get, and we'll pick up next time. Alright guys, hope everybody's doing alright back in the garage today. Last night when I left off, I just kind of had the frame set up here, but since then I got my rear suspension bars disconnected, rear axles out from under the car. Now today I'm going to just knock this out. I got a little bit of time, so I'm going to pull my front suspension off. A couple bolts here, the spring, disconnect my steering. I'll just take the whole steering box off. Brake lines, I got to pop those loose from the brackets. Swing that out of there, break that big engine hoist down, put it outside where it belongs, and then I'll have room to work, and I can start tackling a bunch of the welding on my bracketry on the frame and on my rear axle. So, like I said, I got a little bit of time today. Let's stop talking, let's start doing. Okay, well, it's that easy how to disassemble a Model A frame, apparently. You can see I got my front axle ripped apart, popped out, had to use the BH to get that center pin popped out of the cross member. But anyway, I slid that out, and as I predicted, there's a shortage of jack stands going on around here, but we'll figure that out. Now I do believe I'm ready to do some welding. I'll probably leave my welder in the setup it is and weld on my brake booster mount down here. I'll pull this cross member out, and I need to try to, like I said yesterday, I need to try to make this look a little bit less like this guy just stuck these stubs on here to adapt it. So I'll probably come in and tie another little brace in here and weld that all in, and it'll look less ugly. And then on the back, here's what I got to do. I've got to tie in my suspension, my top pieces, welded on top, bottom, and then my bottom, where my bottom bars tie in. I don't know why, but this kind of universal kit comes in at an angle, and this is the best solution that I could come up with. if I turned it this way, then they wouldn't line up back there without twisting my bracket on the, anyway, it doesn't matter. That's how that's gonna go. So I'm gonna come in and I'll just heat this up real good right here, and then I'll bend it down and then weld it up around there. But I will probably flip the frame to do a bunch of that welding. So yeah, lots of welding to do, but I'm excited because after this welding's done, I get to start kind of putting stuff together, which will be good. Okay, so the one thing I have to deconstruct before I start constructing are these brackets right here. If you remember from last time, these were set up on ladder bars. When I picked up this car, it was kind of put together, already built. This is some kind of custom chassis. Don't know any of the history of the frame, but it was a ladder bar setup, and it was done well and it looked good, except it sat real high in the back. The ladder bars, just the way they came to clear this suspension and cross member and stuff back here, the rear axle had it sitting way high so that the tire, you know, the rear tire was going to be way down. The top of it was going to be like here, and anyway, the body was going to sit real high. So I decided to go with the triangulated 4-link because that's kind of about the best way I can figure to get the back of the car to sit as low as I can in the constraints that I have as far as cross members go. So I'm going to torch those off. I have this other goofy bracket right here. I don't know what that does, but it's gone. Gonzo. Going to cut that sucker off. And then I'm going to wrap this up. So time to make a little fire in here. Do some gas axe work, and then we'll call it. Alright, so check it out. All the deconstruction is done. I got my tabs cut off there. This little guy's trimmed off there. I would love to have a welding table with a plasma cutter where I can go in and just work at standing height and knock all this stuff off, but running the old torch and bending over like that, at least I don't have to wonder why my back hurts in the morning. All the answers are obvious. So hey, this is it. I'm calling it for this video, okay? Deconstruction complete. Time to fix this sucker and put it back together and build a hot rod. All right, do me a favor. Like it, share it, subscribe, right? You hit the little subscribe button, then ring the bell. There's a little bell there. That way you get a notification when I put a new video in. Because I know you guys are hanging around here and all this home style stuff with anxiety of wondering when my next video is going to come out. So ring the bell, share it with somebody. Let's build this community. All right.